People, welcome to Never a Foul, and today's going to be a juicy one. We're going to talk about the weekend results and also more than that. I think there's a little bit of news diving around Man United at the moment. As always on international break, but who better to talk to than the panel that we've got right here? Potts isn't here. He's got some personal stuff going on at the moment, so he can do his thing. We're going to do our thing, and the show must go on. We've got Ches, who is part of our Monday panel, alongside Joe. Not Weinman, Joe, yeah. Ty gets his name wrong in every single tweet. But I'm also joined by Ty this morning as well in the nice cold weather of Bedford. But yeah, man, I didn't get to say my take. I
could do you, Cass, by the way. Cass, let me just check. Are you hosting it, or am I going to ask you?
No, you host it. I haven't had my take on Man City. I got a 2-minute spark. 2-minute spark yesterday, and it ended up being about Arsenal somehow. So,
and there was a power cut. It was going off yesterday. People watched that show yesterday. I hope you enjoyed it. It was heated. It was heated. You know what? 2 words. It was heated, but it was needed. So you know how it is, people. Make sure you smash the like button as well.
You know what it is. Yeah. There's not many times you can crash it on City. So when you have the chance, you have to take your chance because. Loss or draw. The thing is, to City, obviously, if you draw, it feels like a loss. Yeah, that's their situation. If they lose, obviously you lose. And if that happens, I know Daps' head is going to the moon. And I'm going to get threatened by, I'm going to throw something at your head, this, that, and the other, and then whatever else that comes next. But yeah, man. What's everyone saying anyway? Before you do the hosting, man, what are you, man, saying anyways?
Yeah, Joe, Ches. What are you saying, Joe? Obviously, good. You know what? Yeah. Thank you, Joe, because I had an ACCA this weekend. And Leeds done Plymouth, so it helped me. So thank you.
Best team in the league, aren't we? You know what I mean? It is what it is. We'll be up next year, and yeah, we'll be back mixing it with the big boys, won't we? So it's all good.
Do you think you're going to get... But I know we're talking Premier League, but I do follow the Championship heavily. Obviously, Leicester got defeated again on the weekend, Middlesbrough. Yeah. You got Ipswich doing well at home at the moment. Do you think you guys get automatic, or do you think it'll be playoffs?
No, I think we'll get automatic, mate. Like, if we'd have lost to Leicester, they'd have got a 17-point gap. We beat them. They lost to Borough. It's now 8. 8 points is nothing in this league. So I think, we'll be fine. Yeah, man.
Yeah, wicked. And first of all, how are you as well? Everything all good?
All good, mate, yeah. Thank you. Tired, but all good.
Love that. Guys, make sure you do check out his channel down below. It's in the description as always. Make sure you show love. Obviously, he helps us. We go on his stuff and stuff as well. So it's a football community. So make sure you do show love as well. And Ches, obviously, you was on last night's stream. Have you woke up fresh? You recovered? Or you ready to go again?
Yeah, man. Even better in the morning after the result yesterday. The stream was jokes. Can't lie. Check it out if you haven't already. It'll be on the channel. Sick. Yeah, man. I'm just happy that I wake up in the morning and talk good, positive chat for Chelsea. Because usually it's like, take it in for like, what's going on? But this week I can say, you know what, 2 good performances, international break coming up. I'm good, man. I'm happy.
Yeah, love that. Wicked. Guys, make sure you are liking the video. I nearly 200 of you here already. It's the Monday. It's windy outside. So I've done a cast today. I had to make my tea because that's why I was late. I'm sorry. 2.5 sugars as well. Nice and sweet. But Cass, I'm going to let you just, dissect into it because Man City, Chelsea, one of the games of the season so far. Some people are saying, did City bottle it? If it was another club, would people be getting onto them? I got also praise Chelsea because I think Chelsea as well deserve their flowers. A lot of people can look at City and because they've won the treble, they've won the 3-peat so far. They're going for the 4th one. It's about City dropping points. But for me, I'm looking at Chelsea and I'm also seeing what they're building in the big games. Liverpool drawing at home first game of the season. Tottenham going away and winning despite the situation. Arsenal at home playing well for 80 minutes and conceding them 2 late goals. And then City at home now. If they won the game, no one would have complained. If they lost the game, I think it was unfair. I think a draw was they deserve something out of it. But when you look at it, are you taking away, Cass, City dropping points? Or are you taking away Chelsea showing improvement?
No, there's only positives for Chelsea. There's no positives for Man City. When's the last time Man City conceded even more than 2 goals, like in a game? Like how many times do we all criticize that Chelsea are not clinical? The thing is, I think I've got criticisms for both sides, but and I know people are going to bring it back to Man United and say, because technically they done the job that we couldn't do. Like Chelsea played how we should have tried to play at Old Trafford, but we didn't. We tried to sit back and do counter attack and stuff rather than being brave. Chelsea's bravery showed for them, and that's that. So there's many positives for Chelsea, but I also have some negatives about a couple individuals that people do not like to have conversations about, like Enzo Fernandez. I have like maybe it's a little bit of an agenda picking up, but I just don't. I'm not a fan of him. But I don't see flowers for Conor Gallagher. It's like, yeah, you know what? Like even Don yesterday, saying, oh, he's not really part of the future. But I'm sorry, he looks better. He looks a part of the future plan, and he's looking like an improved player, like technically and everything. Look, we can go all into it and whatnot, and obviously. I could probably pick up a couple positives for City as well. It's not all doom and gloom for City fans. Like, look at Haaland. All of a sudden, he was written off, 2 weeks ago? And all of a sudden, he's looking like the best player on the pitch. Doesn't show up in big games. There's a big game for you. Do you get what I mean? There's positives on both sides, and there's negatives on both sides. But it was a great game. And if not, that's probably one of the best games I've ever watched in Premier League football, if I'm being totally honest. It was open. It was open to the neutral, obviously, not to the Chelsea fan or a Man City fan. I've got to say, I was thoroughly entertained. That was money well spent if you did go and watch the game live, and that was that. It's like it was so back and forth. No one went ahead too tough. You can call it a bowl, like end of the day.
I said a good point, and I don't know if you were listening, but he said City actually went ahead 3 times, and I didn't really look at it like that until he said it. My alarm bells went off in my head, and I'm thinking for City to go ahead 3 times in a game, you would normally 99% out of 100 expect them. To hold on or see the game out or get a second goal to sort of make a 2-goal cushion, but they didn't. I thought when Che brought it up, I thought it was a very worthy point.
No, do you know what? It's not a thing where, like Kaz is saying, like is the end and Man City are finished, but it definitely is interesting.
Wait, whoa! I didn't say Man City are finished.
Yeah, whoa.
No, I'm saying get that out on Cat says City are finished. That's it.
I needed to say that just to be the highlight, innit? Get me? But City aren't finished. Kaz didn't say it, but if anybody's saying that on the start of the season, people getting excited because they dropped a few points, whatnot. But 3 times leading in the game, you would expect them to pass that ball around, that suffocate your position. Like, you're going to try and attack us, cool, we'll keep the ball, pick you off, we'll score second, third. And this didn't happen. I don't really know what to make of that. Maybe the Liverpool game will show us more. And if you see something similar, then it'll be like, oh. But it's City, so you can't really look into it too much. But that's didn't want to accept it. In that isolation of a game, it was a bottle job. You can't be leading 3 times against a team in 10th, in which most people were confident they were going to smack us, right? Rivals and Man City fans alike, and then not win the game. That's why, yes, it's a draw, and you'll take a draw away from Chelsea. But that's hindsight. Before the game, if you just said City will be up 3 times and you didn't win the game, most City fans would be like,
True.
I don't believe you. That won't happen. So you got to be real, man. Context is key, but let's put it in perspective. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. How did you see it, Joe, when you look at it?
I think for me, like, as soon as Rodri scored, although he wasn't great yesterday, he's missed a clutch and he comes up in all the big moments. I know it's a deflection, but as soon as he scored, I thought, oh, they've done it again. Do you know what I mean? But I thought Chelsea were great. I think Cassie's is bang on with Conor Gallagher. I've enjoyed Conor Gallagher for some time, man. Like, even when he was on loan at Charlton in the Championship, he's a top player. Doesn't get the respect he deserves for sure. Pochettino he's starting to get a tune out of the players. I thought Gusto as well. I really like Gusto. I just like him. And yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Like Chelsea now, they've beaten Spurs. They've obviously drawn against Arsenal and drawn against arguably the best team in the world. So it does show as well for me that City they're not imperious like they were last season. Do you know what I mean? There has been a definite drop-off, if you can call it that, and it's understandable. You've just won a treble. We've heard the ex-pros say it. But ultimately, lads, they're still top of the league. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So let's see where we are in January and all that sort of stuff. There's a long way to go, but one thing's for sure, that is Chelsea are on the rise. I think for sure they're on the rise.
This is the issue. So. This is the issue. Chelsea will put in this is what we've seen. It's a common theme. So this is based on good evidence. Yeah, Liverpool game, we all thought they were going to go do bits. They didn't after that. Yeah, the Arsenal game, they thought they were going to go do bits after that. They didn't. Even the Tottenham game, thought they were going to go do bits. They did. and then they showed there. But then it's the next game after that. It's like, can you continue? That's the only
Newcastle away, by the way.
Newcastle away next, and it's like, how are you going to fare away from home? I don't know how Chelsea are going to be. That's the only questions, right? And I'm not trying to be a negative on Chelsea because now it's all about being positive. I'm going to be constructive about it because that's how I think Reece James looking like Reece James again. Like, you know, like he does look a touch slow, I'll be honest, but he done a good job against Doku, and he obviously got
smart cast as well that he actually didn't play 90. They keep taking him off after 70 to keep him fit.
Yeah, you have to, and it's just it's like this as well. The only thing I don't get with City is why were they so open and in the middle? It was like Rodri usually is able to deal with stuff like that, but that comes down to Poch's plan. So to think that Poch don't have a plan in some of these situations, you have to give Pochettino a lot of credit because
do you think then, Cass,
everything that you know what he done? Ultimately, if I say Pep got it wrong, then I'm not giving enough credit to Pochettino because he got it right. Does that make sense? Like Pep just got
2 things can be right though.
Yeah,
that's true. But Luke's about to say the same thing.
Yeah. Pep got nullified, right? So he done. You know what Poch did? He did pretty much everything we did at Old Trafford against them last time. He shut down the middle, forced them to go wide, and then take your chances from there. That's what you got to do. And then Foden had a good first half. Enzo was good in terms of trying to cover. But the thing is for me, Enzo on the ball in the first half was wicked. But for £105 million, I have to start treating him like a £105 million player. That's what I'm going to rate him on. On the ball, amazing. Off the ball, he runs with a parachute on and he's not that good. And I'm sorry, I know there's some Enzo fans out there and stuff, but I haven't seen him put in a 10-10 game at the moment. And that's where my criticism comes into. And this is why it gets me frustrated because Conor Gallagher, technically, energy-wise, keeping up with the play and everything, he's been Chelsea's best midfielder this season. And to keep writing him off is a bit weird. It's like Wan-Bissaka for us. All of a sudden, we wanted him. All of us wanted him out. And all of a sudden, he's got a technical bone in his body and he looks better than Delo, keeping the ball and everything. Getting a couple crosses in, smart crosses in. This is what I'm saying. I think Chukwuemeka has a role to play in this yet. I'll be honest.
He's going to come back. And also Lavia as well. That's what Chez, when you look at it, right? When you look at the top teams, Man City, I'm just going to use as a perfect example. They're competing for major fronts on all competitions. So when they rotate, 1 minute it's Kovacic and Rodri. Maybe it's, it used to be Gundogan and Rodri and stuff like that. Whoever it is, they're rotating in midfield, right? Bernardo Silva can sometimes play in there. That's what you need to do. You need to have a quality squad that when players come in, the drop-off is not considerable. You want to have a system where when players come in, they're used to it, and it's simple as that. When you look at Pochettino, right, what I look at him when he's Southampton days, and I said it yesterday, and I said it when he was at Tottenham, they're one of the highest pressing teams, highest turnovers of possession, and also they keep the ball very well. And when you look at Chelsea, everyone went into that Arsenal game thinking you won't really have the ball. You actually had the ball a lot against Arsenal, and I like that because Pochettino, whether you're going to lose a game or not, even if he was my manager, I would rather a manager go
70% against Liverpool.
There you go, exactly, and I would rather my manager go out there, play his football, his style, and lose a game because I know that he's going out on his shield rather than changing, adapting, and then you're saying, oh, but if only Pochettino played that way of football and stuff like that. Now, yesterday suited Conor Gallagher. Helter-skelter basketball game. He's got a lot of energy. Like I said to you, he's that replacement for sort of Mason Mount with the legs in midfield. When we look at Enzo now, in the games they sit back, and you've got teams like Luton coming to you guys, whoever it is, he will dominate the ball and he'll be able to play them nice free butter passes and control the game, a bit like Jorginho when he's sitting next to Caicedo, right? But when you're looking at these energetic games now, like the Liverpools, the Tottenhams, the Man Cities, the Man United you'll go into in 2-3 weeks. When Lavia's back, is Enzo, and I'm not trying to pin him out here because I do rate Enzo, but is he a guaranteed starter? Because I know Caicedo is going to play. I feel like he's the shoo-in. But is Enzo like with Lavia? Would you be happy with them to sort of maybe rotating going forward?
Yeah, rotation in a general format is what you need in top clubs, in any club really. If you haven't got competition to come in that's going to fight the starters or even look at themselves as starters, then there's an issue. You need that competition, like you were saying, with Man City. Foden goes out, Alvarez can come in, Doku can come in, Grealish. They're at a certain level where when you change it up, there's not much of a drop-off, if anything. So with Chelsea getting Lavia and Cuckoo back, it now means that Jackson steps up even more. Palmer needs to solidify a position. And talking about Enzo, he will need to polish up. The reason why the Enzo takes a bit lazy from Kaz and other fans after the Chelsea game is because I look through his ratings and I look with my eyes through the eye test in this past.
That's what I do, though.
So, yeah, let me finish off.
Right.
We're match week, 12?
Pause, by the way.
Yeah, pause. We're match week 12. I think his only last two performances, the only few performances I'm a bit like shaky was yesterday, Tottenham and Aston Villa. Other than that, he hasn't been an issue.
Yeah, Tottenham game wasn't great, actually. Got
It's
something
just
that
because, Ty, when we don't win the game, people look at him to be like, where was you controlling the game, getting your team over the line? Where was you with that key? Because people don't see him as a 6. They see him as an 8.
I see him as an 8.
Who's that?
So because you see him as an 8,
Enzo.
you need more output from that 8.
Oh, Enzo. Yeah, Enzo's nowhere near 6.
That's
no,
my thing is, though, is a bit techie. Is he's in between the two. So I don't think Poch is using him to create GA. I think he's just there to dictate the play. So when we lose games against Brentford or Aston Villa, and he does well on the ball, but doesn't contribute enough for us to win, that's where questions get raised. And then when Conor Gallagher, who runs around a lot, tackles, like you were saying, Ty, his work rate, whatever, is on show for everyone to see, and we win the game, like Spurs and City result, he gets the praise. So I feel as though two things can coexist where he's not playing badly, but Connor's just doing better than him. That's okay. Like, I don't really see that's a big issue. But if people want to go with the take of 100 million, he's not really doing it, he's not doing enough, I don't think he's the reason why we didn't beat Villa. He's definitely the reason why we didn't beat Bournemouth, because the Bournemouth game he played well. He's not the reason why we didn't beat Forest, because the Forest he played well. If we win those games, then he's not really talked about enough to get. So it's part and parcel of football, isn't it? When you lose games, people want to look at individuals, and sometimes it could be the management. How many times have me and Don say, why is he playing 5 at the back? This is the beginning of the season, bro. Enzo was
he played well.
No one was talking about Enzo when we were losing against West Ham. Yes, he missed a penalty, but yes, he did well that game. He did his job.
This is mental.
I think it's a bit lazy, in my opinion. I think it's
narrative based, isn't it, man? It's narrative based. It's money. It's transfer fees. But I think he's not getting nowhere near as much flack as, say, like Grealish and all them guys do, is he? Do you know what I mean? And I think that shows you that people, the undercurrent is they actually rate him and can see what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, he would be front and centre saying, oh my God, this is a flop. This is X amount. And he gets none of that, really. So yeah, he's clearly.
I think Enzo. I think one thing with the Premier League as well, you've got to realise is that look at the intensity. You're coming from a Benfica team, and you're young, and obviously you have got the big price tag, like Joe said. But a lot of players come into the Premier League, and you know that in the second, third, and fourth season, that's how they kick on. Enzo is still adjusting, and I don't think Enzo. I think Enzo, I agree with you, has not been the level he's normally at in the last 2 games. But I think overall, the start of the season, I think he gives you something in that midfield that no other midfielder can kind of give you. That's how I look at it. For example,
Ty, put Conor Gallagher in his position. What does everyone say? Why is Conor Gallagher playing there?
There you go. It hadn't worked. It didn't work.
Clearly, he's doing something correct to be in his position.
What do you mean? He came off the pitch and you scored.
No. Me and Cass, me and you argued about this.
That's a stupid.
Nah.
I've got a question for you, Cass. Now wait, I've got a question for you because Gallagher weren't playing great at the start of the season in that role. They swapped around, and now Gallagher's looking better in that position. However, when you look at pre-season, and Nkunku, who was the main star boy that's coming in now to sort of link with Jackson, where he was getting his best form, he's going to be back in 3 weeks. Do you think Gallagher keeps him out?
I'm telling you now, this is how it's going to be. You know what? Different games, different styles, different fights. I think when there's a smaller team, you're going to dominate. You want your Enzos on the ball, 100 million%. But we're talking about nailing down when it comes to big fixtures. You can already tell, you know what? This sounds bare negative because Chelsea just got a great result in it. And we will talk about the positives because I think it's deserved. The positives are deserved. But I'm only being constructive right now, and I don't want to do it on a.
I love how you got the pen in your hand nowadays.
Yeah, because bro, I'll write down bare notes. But the thing is, I want to be constructive about stuff like this. And it's not coming from a bad place to Chelsea fans, right? It's just that I look at when Nkunku comes back, whether he goes striker or on a wing, you're gonna have to fit in Cole Palmer. So let's say he goes on a wing with Sterling and Jackson up front, there's an option. That's one option, yeah. Or he goes up front and you got Sterling and Palmer on the wings. The way I look at it is Gallagher is Pochettino's favorite. Yeah, you can clearly see that man is his favorite, whether you like it or not. He loves him. Now, when you think of if you want to put Cole Palmer in the 10, you can't be playing Enzo and Caicedo. If you want to put Cole Palmer in the 10, because it don't work. Not enough legs. It's lightweight. You'd be putting Lavia and Caicedo behind him, more or less. If you want Nkunku to drive and do what he does best in front of goal, let's say he's in the 10 and Palmer's on the right, then you need Gallagher because you need the energy to make up.
You're going to drop Gallagher deep with Caicedo?
No, but I think of it more as a 4-3-3, not a 4-2-3-1. That's what I'm saying. Gallagher dropped deep yesterday, and guess what? Chelsea become more solid. and they got and unfortunately they got
Yeah, but
deflected. I'm not trying to say. The thing is, the whole point is, if this is Declan Rice, if this is Anthony for our sake, or Hoyland, or if this is Jack Grealish, all these expensive players.
Don't compare Enzo's start to Anthony.
Stop doing that. I'm talking expensive players, G. Darwin Nunez, right? All of these players that cost a bomb, right? They always get flack. So why is it when it comes to your club, yeah, that it's so protected, and then it looks like we've been all nice? No. I'm giving energy. No, because you know what it is. If this was Declan Rice, and because I haven't obviously I don't like Arsenal, yeah. I'm going straight at him because he cost 100 million. Last season, Jack Grealish, I actually like Jack Grealish. But when it comes down to other people and personalities, they'll be onto it because of his price tag, right? The matter is the fact that Enzo's nearly been in for a year and he's done nothing. Yeah. And the same thing with Anthony, where he costs so much money that there's a spotlight's been on him and everyone calls him shit. I'm not saying Enzo's bad, but he's got to do more. And he has got the ability, but he has not shown it. And I'm not saying that it's been the best situation at Chelsea because I need to see balance in Chelsea's lineup to see what Enzo can really do, right? But right now, if anyone looks out of place at that Chelsea team, it's him in the midfield. And he hasn't impressed. And he's been in longer than Caicedo. So I'm not even going to get onto Caicedo. That's all I'm going to go off of. But yet, when it comes to Conor Gallagher, because he doesn't look the prettiest on the eye, because he can't do a pass like Enzo, he still gets criticism somehow. And I don't understand it. You can't look at a player like Conor Gallagher and not give him mental flowers because his passing, to his technical dribbling, to the way he drives the ball. He's doing 10 times more and he cost them nothing. So this is what I'm trying to say. Why is it the same energy for other players, but when it comes to that player, he gets all the protection in the world from your fans? See, this is what I'm trying to say. I get onto my players a lot.
Yeah, let me chime in here.
I want to hear this much praise for Maguire when we get to Man United.
By the way, I have been praising him. By the way.
Because a lot of chess for Enzo is interesting. But anyway, what I'd say to your point is, I understand your point. Be logical. I understand the logic behind your point. Your point's not illogical. My point is hyperbolic. That's my point. It's too much of a too one-sided where it's like, oh, why are we not talking about him? He's been average. He's not done nothing. That was your words. That's not true. Because in our poorest season, yeah, he performed. That's not saying much, right? We were crap, and he performed.
I never said he's crap, by the way. I
never said you said that. But what I'm going to say, you did say he's done nothing for you, which isn't true. Because like I just told Ty and Joe,
you've had injuries.
Connor in his six, with Caicedo, it doesn't look right. So maybe when Enzo's been played in the 10 by Poch, it was a bad move. It made him look crap. He puts him back with Caicedo, and yes, the last 2 games with teams who run a lot, he's looking a bit leggy. I agree with you. But we're holding him up to this standard. So just because he's here doesn't mean he's crap.
No. But you know what the standard I'm putting him on?
I never said you can't criticize him. Because
I hear it. Not you, by the way. Not you. Not in particular. When I say you guys, I mean just Chelsea consensus as a fan base, right? But my last point is because I want to talk about the positives on Chelsea. Like you got to talk about Cole Palmer keeping your cool as much as you like, and Sterling. Even at the back, you know what? Can't lie, man. Cucurella done a great job in the second half. Really stepped up to the mark. But one thing I have to say is you're playing 1 game a week. He can't play 90 minutes of a game. He looks dead toast after he's played about 60, 70 minutes. So my question is, what happens when there is 2 games a week and you have to rely on your £105 million midfielder to do your job and he can't keep up in the intensity of the game? I don't think he's cut out for the Prem. And that's just my thing. Some players are just not cut out for the Prem. And right now he's not convincing me. I think the intensity is way too much. Or maybe it's because I'm judging it too harshly. And I want to see myself be wrong.
Yeah, I think what you're doing is not
allow your injuries to come back, allow yourself to get a proper striker and balance, and then I'll judge it then. But right now, I'm only going. You said by eye test, so I'm going off what I've seen so far. That's it. I'm just saying he's got great talent, bro. You don't win a World Cup for nothing. But for me, if you're going to cost that much, I'm going to treat you that much. Do you understand? Like every other.
I understand the treating him that much because you rate him here. And you want to see?
I wanted him at my club, basically. I wanted him at my.
I know you rate him as a player, and you're just saying I haven't seen much from him. What I expect him to be, so therefore I'm giving him criticism based on that. And I understand that, but it's when people go too far. And when you said earlier, "Oh, he's done nothing," that's why I'm like, okay, now your agenda's starting to come in.
He hasn't done anything. Tell me what he's done.
What does him doing something mean to you? You tell me.
Controlling.
You're telling me he's not. So you got to tell me.
After the Liverpool game, he's been using a 10, so I'm gonna treat it how it is gonna be in a 10. Go get some goals and assists. Go create something. To be fair,
that's where you're going wrong. That's where you're going wrong already.
Oh wait. He hasn't dominated any game bar Liverpool, in my opinion. And
Fulham.
He had a great game. You know what? Disrespect. That's my bad. I'm not 30, by the way. Don't you dare. I'm way younger than that. Don't do that, HM. I don't get personal either. I'll kick you out. But what's it called? I'm just saying, innit? Like, he needs to be doing a lot more. Maybe again, this can come across
9
harsh.
months of football. He's not
I have the same energy for other
that
players.
To me makes no sense. You haven't seen enough sample size to say that. That's just my thing, innit? That's just my opinion. 9 months saying he's not cut out for the Prem.
It's consistency. The thing is, if you're going to be an 8, dictate the game. If you're going to be a 10, go get some go create some chances.
He's not a 10 though.
But I'm judging him what I've seen. You said I test.
You know what? We're gonna talk on the positives, but if I had to chime in, I do think Enzo is a good player, and I think he has improved Chelsea. When I actually look at him and what he's done, he's had much more good games than he has bad games. I know they haven't won trophies, and they probably haven't won as many games as they would like to. But when I judge him individually, you can see the technical ability, you can see the class he's had. I remember at the start of the season when he was playing them first 5-6 games when he went back into his main position, people were going on Twitter saying he's the best midfielder in the league. I saw tweets like that already straight away. And I'm not saying that I agree with it, but I'm just showing it shows that on the eye, the impact that technically you can see that he makes.
Just a set of quick fact checks. Remember that stage where Chelsea didn't win a game in the whole year? We had like 3 wins. You know, people were saying things like, oh, Enzo's coming to your team and you still haven't won a game yet. That's when I was like, cool. Like Joe was saying, the money thing's a narrative. I get it. But that take makes no sense.
I do.
One man can't carry the whole team, can he?
100% he's gonna come good. But I think the one thing as well that bugs me is that when players do play in that sort of number 8 role or the controlling side of things, and then I'm gonna relate this to Luka Modric. Luka Modric was brilliant at Spurs, right, before he went to Real Madrid. When you look at his career, right, even at Real Madrid, he doesn't have loads of GA, by the way. He sometimes does the pass before the pass. So he's the one that will give it to the Di Marias when he was at Real Madrid, for example, and Di Maria plays the final pass. Sometimes it's the pass before the pass, and Enzo is kind of that guy. He gets the ball from the back for Caicedo. He will play it into the Nkunku or Palmers, and then they will do their thing in the final third. But if you can get him from that transition of that side of the pitch to that bit in the final third, that's what Enzo can do, and I think he will come good. So,
did Enzo get numbers at the World Cup?
Off
the top of my head, did Enzo get goals and assists at the World Cup?
He scored that great goal against Mexico, which helped them get through when he cut in on his right foot. But he didn't score low. He didn't do loads.
That's what I'm saying. It's not his job, right? It's not his job, right? Yeah.
And sometimes that's what I mean. It's like a thing. It's the pass before the pass. But Che, let's get on to the positives. Let's get on the positives of Chelsea. Guys, make sure you like the video. 450 of you in there already Monday afternoon. So make sure you smash a like, get your comments in and everything like that as well. But Che, if we had to give the ball to you, right, and you said, I want to pick a positive from this Chelsea performance, where would yours lie? Because there's quite a few, but it's good to see what you think as a Chelsea fan.
The main one is the mentality. That's the main thing.
Okay, so not even players. Okay,
Yeah, so mentality first, and that comes from Poch. The fact that they came from the game, 1-0 down, poor decision, and they fought from literally minute 1. You man remember the game? From minute 1, we created a chance. We got the ball, straight away created, I think it was 1 shot from Sterling or whatever. And the mentality from the team to come back from 3 times, keep pushing. Even started raining, pouring. Man City, top of the league. We kept going. We got the draw in the end. And some people say we could have won the game if we had better finishes. So the fact that the mentality and the tactics were spot on to a certain degree is why I'm happy from that game. That's the main thing. If we want to go into individuals, Conor Gallagher, Sterling, Palmer, them 3 turned up. Them 3 helped us get that draw. Potentially could have won that game. Sterling obviously had that bit between his teeth. Let me go at him. He was
scored a typical goal that he used to score at Man City back.
Scored an ironic goal. He scored his City all the time. Didn't celebrate, should have. But he showed why he should be playing for England. Don't know why he's in the England team. Conor Gallagher.
Who's that? Who's that?
Sterling.
We all know why.
We all know why. Indeed.
We all know why.
Is what it is. Conor Gallagher, baller man. Gala dog. That guy can flip and run, innit? He can run, brother. This guy was everywhere. And the thing is, he's getting better on the ball. You might have noticed it. He's actually getting better on the ball. Like he can actually turn.
Thank you for backing my point. Basically, you can see it. Thank you for the flowers. I'll take them, even though they're not intentional.
Him, innit?
Of course. You know what? I give you that one.
But yeah, Conor Gallagher, man, he's getting better on the ball. Like Kaz was saying, Poch clearly likes him a lot. He's been working with him. And bro, he showed why he should be in our team. And even with Nkunku coming back, he deserves to start. Not over Nkunku for the long run, but bro, you better find a way to get him in the team because without him, he's at the heartbeat of the team in that midfield. He drops in when you need to, and he helps in the attack. He's got 4 assists. He's got 4 assists in the Premier League, bro.
Two yesterday.
Who Gallagher?
Gallagher's got 4 assists in the
yesterday.
Premier League.
There was a mad thing, Joe. Did you?
4 assists in the whole Premier.
Have you seen Trouble Football? Apparently, like Cole Palmer scored. He's got his 4th goal in his 4th Chelsea match or something like that. In his
He's scored
he scored in the 94th minute for Chelsea's 4th draw of the season for having 4 wins, 4 losses, and 4 draws all together.
Amazing,
Some people just
Mad when you see stuff like that.
Yeah.
And also, I want to shout out. I know we had a bit of a rough start. Reece James, man, you see the difference when he's on the pitch. When he plays and when he doesn't play, Gusto's a baller, like Joe was saying, yeah. But bro, James, that delivery, his strength, his play with the wingers, it's just different. Like it's hard to explain how Gusto can't do that.
Him and Palmer have got a good understanding.
Well, they've got a good connection.
Yeah, they've got a good connection.
And that goal showed it, like the running in between, getting the ball, Sterling bang.
It helps because Palmer cuts in on his left foot and then James can overlap on the right. That's what helps. Free up space.
So with Nkunku there, it's looking nice. And Jackson, that confidence to bring him in, that touch and finish, he doesn't do that 2 weeks ago, bro.
I'm gonna have to pull you up. Who says Nkunku even bosses it?
He will do, I think.
But that's not the point, though.
No. Because you know what? Again, this is what I mean. You talk about sample size. Where is your sample size that he's going to succeed in the Prem?
Bundesliga.
How many times have we seen Bundesliga players come over and not succeed?
You should know Timo, man.
Yeah, we know firsthand. So do you. This is what I'm saying.
Is I shouldn't think he's a good player.
No. I didn't say you shouldn't think that. But you talked about sample size. This is why I say energy, bro. You got no sample size that he's going to succeed in the Prem.
Did I say he was going to bang 30 goals, though?
Because all Don goes on about is the pre-season. That's his sample size.
No, but this doesn't make sense because if you've got a quality player you've seen in another league.
I know he's going to cook, yeah. I know he's going to cook. But I have to play devil's advocate here.
I hear you, but it's not really the same thing because you're counting out Enzo 9 months in, and I'm saying Kuka's touched the ball.
For now, I've got every reason to.
You know what it is? I think he's just jealous.
Mkhitaryan, Kagawa, Timo Werner.
It's going to be interesting. We've got you lot in the midweek in like 2 weeks' time, and I think Cass might be going to that. So it's going to be an interesting game.
Wait, man.
He's never been good for us, man.
Do you know what? I've got a question for Joe, yeah, and then I know we'll talk on the other games as well. Joe, when you look at this top 4 race right now, yeah, Man City, Arsenal, and Liverpool, they're nailed on for 3 out of 4. That's what I think, anyway. No matter what order, they're the 3 out of 4. You look at Tottenham right now. Now, Van der Ven's out till January. You've got Maddison out till January. You've got Romero out for the next 2 or 3 games. Basuma's suspended even for the next game against Aston Villa at home. They're just going for a bit of a patch at the moment where they're going to be tested, and rightly so. Chelsea, 1 game a week. You look at them at the moment and obviously what they've done in the big games. They've got a good run of games coming up after the Newcastle and United fixtures, and you're thinking, do you know what? They can maybe put 5 or 6 runs together. Do you still think Chelsea can make top 4, or do you think this is something where it's too short for them?
No, the mad thing is, they had an easy run before these tough fixtures, and they were brutal in them games. I think the Luton one was the only where they scored a few. I think Jackson scored in that game, but we'll have to wait and see what they do against lesser teams. That's the thing. If they can continue this consistency, if they can continue at these level of performance that they're showing in the big games, then there's no reason why not. Because I do think Spurs, we've said on here for weeks, it's their squad depth, and now. You know, January, there's a few games between now and December, between now and January, sorry. So there's ample time to bridge that gap, do you know what I mean? And the thing is, in January, will Daniel Levy give Ange the funds that he needs to be able to, bolster out the squad? Because that's what they need, because everything underneath the first team isn't the best. So we'll have to wait and see, mate, to be fair. But there's no reason why not. Man United, definitely not. They're getting above the station, I think. Because they're
as well.
Most
Chelsea
informed team, apparently.
Chelsea ain't turned the corner yet, like Joe's saying. Unless we beat the smaller teams. I know Newcastle's coming up, whatever, Everton, whatever. But, bro, unless we beat the smaller teams, I'm not saying nothing about corners being turned. We've got to prove it against the smaller teams. Because, yes, it's sick. I'm happy, obviously, Tottenham away, Man City at home, getting 4 points of 6 is very good for any club. But if you can't beat the smaller teams, then this actually means nothing. And the reason why we're literally mid-table is because of that poor inconsistency. So unless you beat the smaller teams, no Chelsea fans can come out of chest and say, yeah, top 6. But if, for example, Lavia comes back, Chris comes back, and we get a decent run of form before Christmas, New Year, Then obviously the tide would be changed. We might be 8th, 7th, and everything's just a bit different. But right now, I want to see smaller teams.
What do you think, Cass, before I run through the Supers then? Do you think Chelsea still got a sniff?
Bro, I think they've got a basis to go off of. And I don't think the defense is an issue. I don't think the midfield's really an issue. I don't think creating chances, and it's just putting the ball at back in the net. I think they definitely got. The thing is, we always talk about November. It's only November. I know they're 10th at the moment of time, but 1-2 results can change a whole aspect of the whole table just because it's so early and points are so close. So of course they got a sniff. Of course they can, because if they get a goal scorer or someone just clicks into game, let's say it is Nkunku, then before you know it, they go on a 5-6 game run. And then we all have another conversation. Until we'll have to see when January hits and see what happens there, and maybe even for Poch himself, because you know what, a lot of us, including myself, wrote off Poch for this whole period, anyways, of their next, let's call it the 9-game fixture that we was always laughing at. So they can get there. Do I think they will? I think they might just miss out in the end, and that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but I'm not going to say no, because I've seen mad stuff like in football.
Look at Liverpool last year, they finished 1 point off at the end of it when they were all down in 10th, 11th. So we know it can be done.
Yeah. Difference is they got Mo Salah, they got goals. They always got goals. One person I would like before, obviously we're talking about other teams and stuff like that. Sanchez might have conceded 4 goals yesterday, but he put in some great saves, you know.
Yeah, he did.
He really. So I just thought, you know what, big up him.
Haaland, that one.
He's still not long-term number one, is he?
No. He still needs to improve loads.
But if it was up for him, yeah, some of them saves were crucial. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get through some super chats, guys. There's 500 of you in here. Please make sure you are liking the video. Make sure you are subscribing if you're new, and please also check out Joe's channel down below as well. Make sure you show love and go and give him a subscription as well. It costs nothing, so please support the footballing panel. Enzo was man of the match versus Liverpool. Carragher did a segment calling him world class after the game. He's not been at his best at the moment, but come off it in terms of obviously jumping the gun. And then big up Gilno for the super chat. I appreciate that, bro. And then Kingsley also says, I'm sorry, but there are levels to this game. Galadog is a bench player at best. People have forgotten Lavia exists. Galadog best is mid-table. I think what it is, Kingsley, right, is that when you need to compete in many trophies and you're going for like next year, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cups, you want to be back in Europe, whether it's Europa League, you will need a squad. And when you've got players like Gallagher that not maybe technical wise, they're brilliant, but when they're putting in 100%, they're maintaining that effort, they're showing that leadership, it means that other players around them have also got to step up. And it's good to have them in the squad. I always compare it to players like Darren Fletcher at Man United. He wasn't the greatest, but every time he stepped on that pitch, 7 out of 10, maximum effort, and they set an example. So sometimes in the squad, you just need them players. I do want to take it straight on to Spurs, to be fair, because it's a perfect way we're talking about top 4, because 2 games in a row, Spurs have lost to Chelsea now. Spurs have now gone and conceded 2 90-minute goals against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now, Ange this, Ange that. Ange's done his thing. I'm not going to go and discredit Ange and say, you know, he's going to get a bashing now. No, they're playing better football. It's exciting for the fans, and rightly so, they're going to the ground and enjoying it. But that doesn't mean I'm going to take away the fact that because he's a new manager, he gets away with it. It does any of Manchester United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City's, Newcastle's, Aston Villa's, and you concede 2 goals in the 90th minute, you'd be screwing. You feel like you've bottled it, and you'd be very disappointed the fans. Now, they're going into that international break now, needing to reset. They've got Aston Villa at home. They've got Man City away. That's their next 2 games. Now, how do you think Spurs are thinking, Cash, going into these next games about some big players? Is the test really coming now?
They're done. I'm telling you now, no, Basuma is key. They're out the top 4 next couple of weeks. I'm writing. You know what? Yeah, look, I don't hate Spurs like as a club, but there's some fans I can't stand in it, and they get overly gassed. I really, really enjoyed that one, you know, against Wolves. Oh my word, the smile on my face was absolutely tremendous. Yeah, the grin was moving like the Grinch. Yeah, I loved it. They deserved it. Because you know what? The truth is, yeah, I like Ange as a manager. I think he's quality. I think there's a real basis to get off of. But for me, it's a fact when a team gets overly gassed, I want them to lose. And the fact is that they haven't played good football since Arsenal away. That's a fact. With their players, they've been scrounging results. Don't tell me that they haven't, because they have. Crystal Palace own goal needed. Like, I can go through a couple other results. Chelsea, they got battered, like, and the high line it was naive. Luton 1-0, scrappy. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm trying to say. People don't understand this. It hasn't been horses for courses for them whatsoever. And I think that Wolves game showed what it really means when you do miss your key players. And they've been laughing at other teams, And now look what happens when you got a few injuries. Now you're going to come up against Aston Villa, who have an awful away record. But if I'm Villa and I'm Emery right now, you got no Basuma, no Maddison, they got no Romero, they got no Van der Ven. Who else are they missing? Are they missing anybody? They might not even have Johnson for that game either. You know, like, this is what I'm trying to say is, mate, this is what happens. This new manager stuff, we'll see what happens, and I can't see them gaining a couple results, not without Romero in the side at the very least. But
this is the thing, though, Cass. When you look at it, the 4 players out. Look at the 4 players that come in. Emerson Royal. You had Ben Davis. You had Eric Dyer, and then you had Pierre Højbjerg. Now, no disrespect to them, they were decent players back 4 or 5 years ago, even when it was under Poch. Højbjerg at Southampton. But when you're looking at the drop off from Porro, Maddison, Van der Ven, and Adogi, I'm sorry, but that's not good enough. And this is the difference I say to people about a good squad. That's poor, that drop off.
Oh, yeah. Before I let someone, obviously, whoever needs to, I'm just going to say this. You need to adapt. Yeah. Your style of football is your style. And we can praise a manager all the time for wanting to implement that no matter who's on the pitch. But sometimes we always say you got to recognize who you have available, who's on the pitch, and you might have to adapt your way of playing. That's what we gave Ten Hag credit for last year. It's just adaptation in certain games and changing it when it needs to. Now, this is up to Ange and Mr. Mate to go and see what he can do, because I think it's going to be tough for them. You might as well write off the City game they've lost. So,
wow. Well, what do you think of that, Joe? Coming to you, Aston Villa at home, Man City next, and obviously with the key players out.
Yeah, Villa's an issue, but obviously Spurs have a bit of a hoodoo over City, don't they? And I think it'll be a very, very good game. I think it'll be, a little bit basketball-y vibe, if I'm honest, because Ange isn't going to change his principles, and nor would I want him to. And I'm not a Spurs fan, but enjoy it because they've had a couple of years of playing absolutely dreadful football. Look, a couple of weeks ago, people were talking about them in a title race and stuff, and now Man United are like 4 or 5 points behind them, I think. So it just shows you how quick it can flip. But it's the personnel that they're missing. That's the key thing. If anything, the 2 players that have transformed this squad was Mickey Van der Ven and Maddison, and they've lost them both. You know that they'll look back now in a few months' time at that Chelsea game and say that proper derailed us. And what they need to ensure is that the squad gets bigger, they get more players that are suited to play in Ange's way, getting rid of your Dyers and all that. So I know they played well at the weekend, but still, they need to improve it. Sorry, I've got...
That's all right. That's all right.
Damn,
No, it's right. Leaves on a winning run. And look.
Hey, you're choking. Now he's doing the Spurs.
You know, we can get Joe on. We can get Joe on and do the world hottest crisp challenge. But yeah, Che, while he has a drink quickly, what do you think on Spurs? Obviously, you're looking at it as rivals to them. When you look at Tottenham, Chelsea, where you want to be, you know, if Tottenham had beaten you, you would have been 17 points off them. Now you're slowly making a few inroads on them. Do you see Chelsea Tottenham coming back into that sort of, you know, top 5, top 6, and they're going to be in the bust up 4th?
It's tough because last season with Harry Kane in the squad, they finished 7th, 8th. That was with Harry Kane, and the fact they've lost their best centre back, who's going to probably be out until after Christmas, probably definitely to about Feb, and Maddison probably for another 2 months or so, maybe. It's not looking good. So, do you
think though, like ultimately, players like Maddison and Van der Ven being out, the players coming in, obviously you've got Heung-min Son who's still there, but you've got Brennan Johnson now who scored his first Premier League goal for them on the weekend.
Yeah.
You've got obviously Kulusevski, but you've got Saar, Basuma, Højbjerg. For me, the problem, Bentancur's obviously back, Lo Celso's in there, but they're lacking a bit of that quality in there in terms of that creative spark.
Yeah, there's no creative player in there.
But do you think these players coming in are good enough to help keep Spurs maintaining that sort of level?
Boy, they're not, are they?
Let's be real, they're not. The only reason why people, even like me, are questioning it is because they've done so well beginning the season. But again, that was their fully fit team. Like, that's their fully fit 11. So if they're missing these key players, and Højbjerg, Bentancur, Saar, these aren't creative spark. They're not going to create and assist like Maddison does. Then there's going to be a serious issue with chance creation and scoring goals. So just like Wolves, the game after Chelsea, it wasn't looking good. So I think there's an element of players step up, obviously, because you know these men are out and you've got to do it, else where you're going to finish in the league, right? So people might step up, but at the same time, their squad depth has proven over the years that they're not good enough. So what's to say they're going to step up now and help them get into top 6, top 7? Nothing. So using that logic, they're probably going to end up mid-table. It could be ironic.
Wow, mid-table.
Bro, they can sort with us very easily. All it takes is 3 wins, 3 losses. They lose or draw against City, Villa. We win.
Let me check who they got. Do they not?
Yeah, I'm trying to look at the table. Yeah, how many points are you lot off Tottenham now? Then
I think it's 11.
Okay, so and I actually think Villa, even though despite
How
much?
10.
All right, I'm looking at their fixtures now. Villa, Man City, West Ham, Newcastle, Forest, Everton. I wouldn't even want to play Everton if they're their away team right now. And they got Brighton. And then they got Tottenham. I mean, Bournemouth, then they got Man United away. That's a lot.
Yeah,
but it's like the Chelsea thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you look at Iran, it looks terrible. And
but also it's psychological. The way we praised Chelsea mentally for coming back from going behind 3 times. If Tottenham had played Bournemouth after the international break and maybe got a win, you can maybe get a bit of that confidence into the new players coming into the team. When you've got Aston Villa at home, where Villa score goals, and then you've got City away, if you lose them 2 games, when you're then playing the Bournemouth, when you're playing the Evertons, as much as you think you should be winning them games on paper, because you've lost your last 2, it puts more pressure and emphasis on to win them games. And that can sometimes make you not then win them games. And sometimes it could be a bad thing. So I think it is going to be very, very interesting to see how Spurs deal with this international break, try and reset. And we're all going to be there watching that Super Sunday, because that Super Sunday is Everton, us, and Tottenham, Aston Villa. But one team I think we do need to talk about, because they are going to play Manchester City after the international break, is Liverpool. Guys, make sure you are liking this video, by the way. Still 500 of you in it, so please make sure you subscribe to the channel.
50 away from 200.
50 away from 200. So guys, please make sure you do that if you're watching right now. Just hit that thumbs up. It costs nothing. Click off your live chat as well, and then you can come straight back. And also check out Joe's channel down below in the description. Costs nothing to drop him a subscribe, and please help him out as well. Liverpool, the team sort of going under the radar, scoring 3 goals a game as usual, and Mr. Mo Salah doing it again. That is his 200th goal, by the way, in English football. So I've got to commend him. Like, at the end of the day, as much as he's a big rival of me as a Manchester United fan, I think this guy and how his game's evolved over the years is just getting better and better. He's not just a goal scorer anymore. Dropping in from that right-hand side into the channels, being a creative spark as well. His intelligence has gone up. I think that guy's an absolute demon. But in general, Darwin Núñez again, 2 offside goals, great finishes, but he's still got the assist. His perseverance to keep going. Liverpool, Joe, when you look at this team, they just do what they do. At Anfield, it's guaranteed 3 points, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they've won all 6 of the home games this season as well. I think they're right up there. I think for me, they are going to be the closest challengers to City. I know a lot of Arsenal fans will, disagree, but I think we're already seeing it. And listen, I think they might go out and get a specialist number 6 in Jan, and then let's see what they're doing, because obviously Alexis McAllister's been playing there, not really well either. So maybe they'll get more out of him once he's released from that. Listen, they're a good side. I even rate Tsimikas me. I don't think he gets enough praise, to be honest.
Joe, you're going to make me cry. I put him on my bench in FPL and he got 15 points.
Yeah. Well, mate, shall I tell you what I did just on that, right? I did a free hit. I brought in 3 Man United assets. I captained Højlund. Bearing in mind my previous week, I had Haaland, Salah, all them players, Tsimikas. I lost them all. So I put Evan Ferguson in. He didn't even play. So, fantasy football.
We'll stick to podding.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I need to do. But no, Liverpool are doing bits, and I think if anyone's going to push City, it will be them, mate, for sure.
Do you know what, right? Before I come to Cass, if they do, because you even mentioned there briefly, if they get that number 6 in January, obviously Endo played yesterday, VAR check, didn't give it a red card. I think it was the right decision, if I'm totally honest. But Endo's probably not the guy that they're going to want every week starting to try and guide him to a Premier League title. McAllister, like you said, I completely agree. Good player, not a number 6, but can play there when they're dominating teams on the ball. If they go and get the right number 6, do you think that's enough to get them over the line and potentially derail City? Do you think they need more than that?
I'm just trying to think now. I mean, in the defence, potentially. Again, it depends on fitness at the back, especially with the centre-backs. But everywhere else, I think the business in the summer's been really, really good. Obviously, you've got Szoboszlai, Gravenberch. I don't think they've had any poor signings this window, bar Endo, really. But he almost feels like a bit of a stopgap, doesn't he? It'll be interesting to see who they go and get. But yeah, listen, some might say, we need someone to replace Nunes, maybe, because he's not as prolific. But I think for me, I really, really rate him, as I say. And I think if a striker's getting in the right
You
position,
saved yourself there.
Yeah. No, I do though, bro. I'm not.
I rate him, but I think replacing Nunes, I think he's nailed
on. No, I'm just thinking like, do some people look at it and say the guy's not scoring enough, so therefore eventually we'll have to replace him? I disagree with that sentiment.
You said at the start was right though. I think it's the defense move. They get a number 6 and they get another centre back in. Gomez, Matip, Konate. There's always injuries or something going on with them. Van Dijk's not the same at 32 anymore. He's very good, by the way. I'm still saying Van Dijk's playing very well, but I'm on about he's not the Van Dijk of 4 years ago, which was an absolute monster.
No, exactly.
I think if they get a centre back in and they get a midfielder, I do think it can help them 100%. Obviously, they've got the Europa League to focus on and they're rotating. Where do you see Liverpool, Cass? As much as they're our rivals,
I think Van Dijk slept on at the moment. Liverpool got in the Premier League at home. They've got 3 clean sheets now. In their last 3 Premier League games. At home. That's not getting spoken about now. I think Van Dijk is back to his best, in my total opinion. I can't lie. This is his best season for about 2 years now. Yep. I think he's, if not at the moment, he's in the top 3
centre backs in the league, bro.
Right now, it's like he's kind of recovered. You know, he might have. I don't think he's lost too much pace, and I think he's just back to his best, and that's all I can say about it. Liverpool. When they go, they only concede one. When at home, if they are going to concede, it'll be 1 goal. The thing is, when was the last time, other than Europa League, I'm not even going to count Europa League, but when it comes to domestics and stuff like that, conceding more than 2 goals for them is unknown. And all they got to do is go score 1 or 2, and you already know about it. See, their home form is going to be their home form for pretty much all season. They might lose maybe 1, they might draw maybe 2, and not even lose. But that's title talk then, because we're talking about the whole situation about if they're going to push City all the way. If we're thinking Anfield's a scary place, which it obviously is known for, then you have to talk about contention about being Premier League champions because their home form is that good, just like the Etihad, right? So I look at them.
Each other next at the Etihad.
Yeah, I know. They know they've lost, but when Man City,
I don't think it's a gimme like this, though.
No. It is. I think one thing not Roms, because he just spoke. Thing that Liverpool fans know, when they go to the Etihad, they lose. When Man City go to the Anfield, City lose. It's just one of those things. You lose. It's like Chelsea and Man United. With Chelsea and Man United, Chelsea come to Old Trafford, Chelsea lose. When we go to their gaff, we pretty much lose. It's just one of those things. It's just no if, buts, or maybes. But the way you have to look at it with Liverpool, they can keep. I think the defense is a major part. They're scoring goals from anywhere. You know, they're in every single game. Mo Salah's in a form of his lifetime. I don't believe he's even going to leave in the end. I think he's going to stay. I think he's going to be gassed. Yeah. Well, another year. You know, and you know what? Klopp's got re-energized everything in his team, and they got bare bones in terms of the defense. Even with Shimikas, I know he's not the greatest, but they got options. Luton Town was unfortunate. They might have a blip here and there, but I think most teams have shocks. Big teams have a shock in a season. That's fine. They'll get back from that. Everyone wins at Old Trafford now. It's true, but that's nothing new. I just think, Liverpool a little bit slept on. Again, we haven't really if we think about the last maybe 3, 4 weeks, we haven't spoke about Liverpool at all because they're just doing their thing.
And do their thing.
They should be on more points. They should be on more points. They should have got something, against that dodgy decision that happened at Tottenham and whatnot. So man, look.
Is there anyone here? Do you know what? Is there anyone here?
I'll bring a different approach.
City game. Is there anyone here that actually thinks Liverpool could do something in the City game? Because I know that City are very good at home and they normally historically beat Liverpool, but I just feel like being a 12:30 kickoff, if Salah opens the score and they get a counter attack and they score early, I think that could be another goal fest. We look at the Chelsea game yesterday. I know it's not at the Etihad, but there will be chances where Liverpool will have to take them. If there's one team that I think can always hurt City, it is Liverpool because the pace and power they have on the break. They're going to get help. They're going to get moments in transition. If John Stones is still out, then that's going to be a big setback for them because they'll need Kovacic to come in. I think that's where he didn't get it right yesterday. But is there anyone in here watching this right now in the comments, or you guys in the panelists that think City have nailed this game on in 2 weeks' time? Or is anyone thinking Liverpool could do something?
I think that Liverpool can do something because thinking about the game yesterday, we had like a Salah or Jota or Diaz, I think we probably win the game. There's a few chances Sterling had where the decision-making with Chelsea's attackers is poor, right? But Salah's great at that. So he's got 200 Premier League goals and how many assists. But I think that overall for Liverpool, I want to chime in, I think they can get a result, but I do think that for them, they need to be like winning stuff. And the reason why I say that is because Van Dijk's in his prime. Salah might go. I know we're saying he might stay. He might leave. And I know they're rebuilding their midfield, but their defense is still light. They got some issues to Spurs where if Van Dijk got injured or Trent, their defense looks a bit shaky. And yes, the stats say they've only conceded 10 goals this season, but they are easy to get at. That's my thing. Chelsea proved it. I don't think that they're like not susceptible to conceding goals. Yes, they've got a good record, and Van Dijk is playing sick. But if he was to get injured, for example, they haven't got the depth in defense to cover him. So, in my opinion, in January they need a CDM and a centre back. And if they get them two, then they'll be on the course to probably win the league. But for them, they need to be winning something, man. Like most of the players in their prime, they need to deliver. It's not the same as like, for example,
winning something this year. I think Liverpool.
They have
to. No, it's not that even that they have to. I think they do.
That's my
I think they will. It might be a Carabao, FA, or Europa, but it's going to be at least minimum one of those trophies, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do.
I don't think they won't, but I think that
by force, Mons will end up respecting Darwin Núñez. Yeah, he will end up by force.
Yeah, he's converting 100%. He's converting, Cass.
100 what to what?
To a Núñez fan.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think he's so slept on. That assist for Salah is not a joke.
Yeah, very good play. And the perseverance. This is the thing about mentality I like about these South American players. The fact that he had 2 goals disallowed yesterday. Very good finishes as well. Still had to do the job.
One of them was harsh. It was a toe in it.
Yeah, toe. You know what I mean? But he just keeps going. And then instead of saying, you know, I'm desperate for a goal, he fed in Salah, 39th minute or whatever it is. And you see the way Klopp's celebrating as well. And Mbeumo had a big chance down the other end. Them sort of moments in a game that can change it. So the fact that Salah scored 39th minute.
I think I triggered the comment section a little bit. I was just going on about. What I'm trying to say is, if Liverpool aren't in the position to not win anything, hear me out here. Liverpool need to win trophies. Salah needs trophies. Yeah, he's got 200 Premier League goals, but he ain't gonna like to hear this conversation. Ronaldo's
got 200 goals in English football. He's got 149 Prem goals.
What in the Prem?
Yeah, 149. Yeah.
The point is, he's still got a lot of goals, right? But he still needs to win more. So that's my point. Like still needs to win more. And Liverpool Football Club needs to win more, considering what your peak of your powers. You've got the best manager you've had in a long time. You need to win more trophies. There's nothing wrong with me saying that. If you want to be triggered and go, you need to win things. It is what it is. Like you can deviate as much. Salah's only got 1 Prem.
Yeah, but Chelsea have spent $1 billion, and what are you winning this season?
You won the Champions League very recently.
Go on, no, but what are you winning this season, though?
Let's not do this. We're in Championship.
Oh, here we go. Right, okay. You can't, but you can't stand there, right, and say you expect Liverpool to win something this season when you've spent £1 billion.
Get it up. Ramos agrees with me. Come on, man. Like they need to win something. I'm not just talking this for the sake of it. If Man United was in position or Chelsea, I'll say the same thing.
I still think we can win this
in his prime, top of the league. Bro, it's what it is. You can't be losing to City every single year and then be bridesmaids and go, yeah, we competed. Yeah,
you want that. You want that spot back, don't you? One thing I want to allow is Ty trying to disrespect the Etihad and Man City for their record when it comes to big teams going to that ground. There is no way.
Where did I disrespect it?
You think Liverpool go? You truly believe Liverpool can go to Etihad and go get something? No. You need to do your research. This is why you need the pen and you need paper and you need the internet. Trust me.
Right, and I'm just saying that it could be one of them days, 12:30 kickoff. That I guarantee if Daps was here, he would not be saying. He would probably say, "Okay, historically we beat."
No. Daps don't do the prediction thing. He don't like bigging it up. He likes to be subtle with it, and obviously likes to build it up and let it do its thing.
Okay, let me ask you. No, Liverpool. Is it going to be a 3-0 or do you think it's going to be a 2-1?
It could be either way, but one thing I do know, Pep is not losing that game. Look, I'm sorry. Look, I think Liverpool fans know this. It's just a like for like. You get 3 points at home, Gaff. They get 3 points at their Gaff. It's as simple as that. They can, but will they? Probably not.
Yeah, they can. I agree with you. They can, but
I don't think you understand. The Etihad is no joke. Yeah, it's no joke.
I hear it.
Minimum draw, but I don't see it. I just don't see it. That robot is that robot, and you know who they got still? They still got Bernardo Silva. Ask Liverpool fans about Bernardo Silva. They'll have a lot to say.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting, man. Is there anything else we need to speak on, or is it wrapped? I think bang on an hour.
If you want to talk on Man United. Are you
I was
after the game?
Oh, honestly,
That
you know,
was
I'll briefly sum it up because you the stuff you see when you're on the TV is so much different when you're at the ground. But there was booze at halftime from on parts of the crowd which weren't good enough, to be honest. We had it's Luton Town. 5 clear-cut chances. Hoyland should score in the first minute. Rashford should score in the second half, and Garnacho should score in the first half. There are 3 big moments. Other than that, I was looking at this game thinking, I don't know where we're going to score, because if there was a team, and this is how I look at it, right, which is disappointing for me, I want Ten Hag to succeed, and I want him to be successful. But these players look like they're playing with no sort of idea what to do in the final third. A lot of players have got their arms out, complaining about where to pass it, the lack of movement. And I'm not going to say, you know, every team has injuries, but Wan-Bissaka, Shaw, and Martinez being out, we're missing them big time because our midfielders are not good enough in terms of that progressive passing, the build-up play. It's huge for us at the moment. And you can see how slow it looks. And if we were playing a better team than Luton that had bravery, had the capacity to say, you know, we're going to run at this back four like Chelsea did against City yesterday, they would have got chances and other teams would have scored against us. So do you know what? I take the 3 points and I move and the clean sheet. But I know that there is more worrying sides to come. We've got Everton away that I don't want to go to 4:30 on a Sunday. We've got Newcastle after that. We've got Chelsea at home. This is going to be more tests for Manchester United. And we've got to see if these players are ready to step up because, I watched the game. We got the win. But the crowd are not happy.
You know what? Can I just speak on it as well? This is specifically for Sam Boy or whatever his name is in the chat. There's a lot of conversation about they're the most informed team in the league. Yes, you are. However, when you sit back and look at it, you scored 2 late goals against Brentford. You beat Fulham 2-1. You beat Luton 1-0. And
Sheffield United
2-1. You know, Newcastle were beating them 8-0, right? So. Okay, you've won 4 out of 5. The last decent team you played, that was City, and they absolutely slapped you all over. So let's wait and see what happens when you play even the West Ham, the Village. You're not winning them games.
We're winning them games, but like you said, there's no performances. I can't sit exactly. I'm not going to look you in the eye and say, we've been brilliant. No way.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess what? The table does not lie.
This is why I need that sometimes.
No, that's just common. You can't look
most informed team in the league. Hold that one, Ches, sitting in 10th. Yeah, you're going to be in 11th next time when you play Newcastle. Yeah, hold that one. I need you to do something against Newcastle, by the way. But I'm just saying, you guys in the comments, hold.
Boys, what did you make? What did you make? Because I've been thinking about this. Like the Newcastle fans' reaction to getting beat, I was a bit like, whoa.
Loved it.
2 seasons ago, you were nearly relegated. Though.
I couldn't believe it.
No, but you know what? In fairness to Newcastle fans, I've been telling them from the last season, and that means Kendall. I think there's NFC 9 in here, and so forth and so forth. They need to start getting some mentality that you're not a small club no more. I know they were there back then a few years ago, but they need to get into the point where it's like, if you want to be a part of the big boys and everything, the top 7, 6, whatever you want to do, you got to start acting like it. Because you're gonna hold.
That doesn't mean you start cussing out the players like that after one.
No. I'm not talking about the fans that are doing that to the players and stuff like that. I hear that. Is that what you're on about? Yeah, I think that was wrong, to be fair, considering their position and how many injuries they do have. But I'm talking about the everyday fan. I mean, to be defeated now when you've had a taste of Champions League and everything, and etc. You get a taste of that, and that's what happens. You have a taste of that, and then you want more. It's as simple as that.
I get that, but I just think.
And to be fair, they travelled a long way to go to Bournemouth.
You ain't getting a train back at them times. What do you not think of Trippier? Because I actually like that Trippier went over there and tried sort of like speaking his mind. I know he got dragged away. Eddie Howe gave him a hug and that, but at the end of the day, I feel like he had to do that because it's like they've forgotten. Like Joe said, I feel like they've forgotten with their journey in the 18 months. And also, I said it in the summer. They're 2 steps ahead of where they were meant to be. Yeah. This was the year, right? I said they'll get you 7th and get back into Europe. Then the year after this was the year I said they'll challenge for top 4. They done that last year. So for me, they're ahead of the cycle. And this is a bit like Manchester United with Erik ten Hag. I said they would get top 6 last year. I would see better football where I can watch my team and know what I'm turning up to see. We won a trophy last year. We got top 4 because Liverpool, Chelsea, Spurs, they had a bit of a worse season. But now they're back up to scratch. The Man United fans then expect better. So that means if we finish 3rd last year, okay, we want to finish 2nd. If we win one trophy, they want to win another one or win a better trophy. And I said, listen, Man United fans, we're not going to do that because I know we overachieved last year. Then what happens, Joe, is the mentality of the fans just switches because some fans just want that success. They smell it. And instead of dissecting and saying, do you know what, where are we really, really at? They've not done that. And I feel like Newcastle right now, they're struggling a little bit in Europe and they're struggling a bit in the league at the moment. And I think it's not actually that they're having a bad season. It's just the expectations of the fans now. Because look, they're still in the top 6. It's not bad.
Yeah,
they're still in the Champions League. Okay. I know it's going to be tough, but they're still there.
Bro, in the Champions League against teams like Dortmund, AC Milan, who've got experience, bro. These are two teams that made quarterfinal and semi-final last year.
And look at their injuries, Ches. They had Lewis Miley starting against Bournemouth on the weekend.
Tonali's out, Isaac's out. Like they need
to just midfield on a pitch. Lewis Miley, 17 years of age, proper.
You see what I'm saying, Casper? When you talk about it, 17 years of age, my man just finished his A-levels last year, and you're talking about starting in the Premier League against Bournemouth. That's no disrespect to him, but it shows the injuries and the what Newcastle has got to be realistic about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I proper player, that guy. You know what? I will never knock a kid, no matter what rival it is, that plays for whoever. Don't matter. That's just got talent. Don't care who they play for. Honestly,
I've got to get this up, Cass, as well for you, by the way.
Why am I going to love off my own cousin? Allow it. Allow it.
Another one as well from the boss says, this deluded Chelsea fan is chatting S. Don't get triggered. Don't worry. These are just comments. You know what it's like, Ches. Salah won every trophy possible with Liverpool. But make sure you're liking the video as well. Make sure you are subscribing to Joe's as well, his channel down below.
I think I'm the boss, by the way. Love, man. Nice to see
you. Always watch, man. You see the regular faces as well. But I can't lie. I'm a bit gutted. It's international break and there's not a lot to talk on, obviously, over it. But it's going to be big when it comes back. We're going to make sure we're filling you up with content. Guys, also make sure you're checking out the pre-recorded as well. Me and Daps done an analysis of the Chelsea City game as well, if you want to see the breakdown of that. Or also, if you want some entertainment, just watch last night's stream because it was quite chaotic, but it was brilliant at the same time. So, yeah, if it's windy outside and if anything you want to do, go and watch that. Joe, I always like to kindly plug you as well. So, obviously, like I said, channels down below. Make sure you check it out. Have you got anything coming up today or tomorrow? Anything you want to plug?
Yeah, got a few things coming up during the international break, actually. I'm doing a video with Saeed during the international break, which I'm looking forward to because it's just top-level content, yeah. So, Sam boy, make sure you come and join it, mate. It's got Man United in it, pal. So, there you go.
Love that. I was with Saeed at the game, actually, on the weekend. So, big up Saeed every single time. Check out his channel as well. Guys, we are going to wrap it up there. Big up for all your super chats today. Big up for all your comments. Make sure you are liking this video. If your thumb ain't hit, please make sure you do that. How many likes we off 200, Cass?
5.
There we go. Guys, before this outro ends, please just slap 5 little likes in there. Subscribe to Joe's channel, and we'll be back tomorrow with more content. And we'll see you on the other side. Cheers. Big up for coming on as always as well, bro. Thank you.